Hey, what's up? This is Gazbot. Now I'm going to talk to you with my microphone. Excellent. So I had a little bit of a technical glitch for a second, got that sorted, thought it was done, then I gave myself my own glitch by not having my microphone down. Thank you for being able to hear me. Good thing I have Airzuki here for tech support. This image on the screen is not what I'm working on. This was just a placeholder. This is Megaforce Yellow or Gosei Yellow from Power Rangers Super Sentai, but I'm going to be doing TRL, which is Twitch Request Live, and the way that works is I alternate working on I'm not doing any finished art right now. I'm just doing sketches and studies and things like that. So I'm going to alternate between working on things that I feel like working on and taking requests from the chat. So I start off working on something, and then as I'm working, you guys can ask me questions, talk, whatever, and then as requests come in, I will choose one of them. So when I finish the first thing I'm working on, I do one of yours, and then we go back and forth for about an hour and a half. That's the deal. So I'm going to go ahead and well, let me see what I'm going to do. What I did that I haven't done previously is I went ahead and got my reference for the things I want to work on ahead of time. Now, if I end up doing a request for one of you guys that needs a request, that needs reference, that won't stop me from having to go get it. But at least for right now, I'm okay. And I want to make my preview bigger. I guess that's good enough. Okay. And so what I'm going to work on first is I do a lot of headshots like this Power Ranger headshot, as you can see here, that I make into prints and things like that. 9x6 is my standard headshot size. And I've been experimenting with, I mostly do Power Rangers, Godzilla, Ninja Turtles. I do a few other things here and there, but those are the three properties that do the best for me as far as people following, liking, buying, etc. But I've done a few Transformers, specifically Generation 1 from the 80s. And I did 3 Autobots and 3 Decepticons, each from the original series from the 80s and also from the first wave, whatever year that was, 84, let's say. And if they do well enough, I was thinking I would do that whole first lineup and then go from there. And they've done okay. It's hard for me to judge how well they're doing, but I do like them. I'm not sure if I'm going to go ahead with Prince, but I'm going to go ahead and work on some studies of those characters, assuming that I was going to do another 3 Autobots. So one of them is Prowl, who is a police officer car, and he was sort of a third in command, I guess, but he got bigger in the comics and maybe in some of the other media which it was in. And I keep having trouble. Computers. I want to open up my reference, but it's doing that thing where instead of using the normal Windows thing, it's like trying to create a slideshow, which blocks out the whole screen, so then I can't see chat or anything else like that. So even though I had my reference ready, I don't have my ability to view the reference ready. So bear with me 1 second while I try to see. I will open with, you see, I will open with Windows Photo Viewer. Oh, so much better. So now it's a little windowed area. All right, so right now I'm looking at pictures of Prowl. I don't think if I drag it in, you won't be able to see it. No, you cannot. Uh, but what I could do is do a quick copy and paste maybe, or actually, I know what I'll do. I'll do this. That's the character we're going for. I'm not going to keep that there, but just to give you an idea. As I said, 80, and I hate the new Photoshop. I say this all the time, but I'm sorry. Everything is counterintuitive. All right, but that's not what we're here to talk about. So I will go ahead and create a new background layer, get rid of that old work, and just put some white in there for my background, and I'm going to lock that layer up. Excuse me. I'm going to take a sip of water real quick. I timed that badly, so you heard me swallow, but them's the breaks. All right, so now I'm going to, oh my gosh, this stupid thing keeps opening the wrong way. Sorry. Open with Windows Photo Viewer. That's right. So now I will go ahead and just start doing some rough sketches of Prowl, mainly his head. And that is what I'm going to be working on first. And if people come in and have some requests, I will jump onto one of those after this, as I said. I'm also open to just normal discussion and questions and things too. But usually people, as an artist, people always want to get me to draw stuff, and usually I don't want to do it, or I want to charge more money than they want to pay, or whatever. So this is a way to kind of get just some sort of casual sketches done that. A lot of times people have misunderstandings about artists and art. It's like, oh, well, it's so easy and so quick. And it's like, well, yeah, doing a little sketch can be quick and easy, but like a finished piece of art, not necessarily so much. And also, depending on the subject matter, if it's something I've never drawn, like last week I did Gravedigger, and that was a nightmare. I didn't do a very good job at all, So it does take work sometimes or time. But in this format, I can just do a quick little sketch for a few minutes, see how it comes out, and nobody's paying anything. There's no deadlines, and it's all just sort of for fun. So I don't mind. It's kind of the best of both worlds. People get their requests, but it's not a hardship on me. Let's Airzuki. What is Airzuki saying? Is there anything you do like about the new Photoshop? No, there's nothing I like about the new Photoshop. The only thing, well, I'll be charitable. The only thing I like about the new Photoshop is that it doesn't crash the way the old Photoshop did. And when I say the old Photoshop, I was using CS3, and then for a minute I was using CC. 18 and then it updated to 19 like as I was just getting acclimated to it, which was also annoying because there were minute changes between the two, so I had to anyway. But what I like about it is that because it's newer, it doesn't crash, because the only reason I updated is because my old one was crashing, so that was a bummer. What else do I like? I guess there's like an autosave feature, but I don't even know if my old one had it. I think it didn't. So that's good, although because it hasn't been crashing, I haven't been needing the autosave feature, but I guess it's good in case I need it. What else do I like or dislike? I don't know. There might be other features that I've yet to discover, but my general take whenever I upgrade a program is that, oh, this is exactly like it used to be, except different and possibly worse. That's not entirely true. Sometimes there's new features and stuff put in, but for Photoshop, every version of Photoshop I've ever used is almost indistinguishable from the other as far as functionality. Now, this is from the 2000s on up. I'm sure the older ones were worse, but this is a little bit of a weird prowl. I probably put a little bit too much detail in for this. I want to see what his chest looks like, so I'm going to grab a different reference. Okay, so he does sort of, his chest is sort of the hood of the car that comes up like this, but he does have sort of a metal bib collar thing around like this. But yeah, for people that use Photoshop for actual photo manipulation or other things, there might be better new features or whatever. And depending on the version of Prowl, he has his doors come up behind him and look kind of like wings. And in some, they're almost coming off his shoulders, and in some, they're more coming off his back. But it does, yeah. I want to see what I want to do is put them like this so you could see him. But I don't think that's actually accurate to his model, and I'm trying to make it look as close as possible to the original 80s model. So I'm looking at my reference off screen here. Yeah, okay, so I guess what I want to do, there's a wheel kind of behind his shoulder like that, and then you would see a little bit of the door like that. So I'm going to take this whole thing down to 50%, and even though I'm just doing sketches. Hey Dolly, yeah, this is live. You are live. Twitch request live. From 5:30 to 7 every Friday, I am live. Sometimes other times in between, but this is sort of my normal schedule I've been working on. And I'm doing the same thing as last time, where I'm doing sketches and not finished art, but in between working on the things that I'm practicing, I am taking requests and chatting with the folks like yourself. So if you have any requests, feel free to throw them out and they might get done. Let me see. I'm going to change my reference over here. Right now what I'm working on is a sketch study of Transformers, the original 80s version, specifically from the cartoon. And this is a character named Prowl. And so I'm kind of just trying to get him down. I haven't really drawn him much, and I was thinking maybe I would do a print of him eventually. So I was just sort of doing a little study, and I have my reference off screen that you can't see, but that's what I'm going off of. And because some are better for the face, some are better for the chest area and things like that. And Prowl is one of a couple Transformers, especially in the early 80s version, that reused the same mold in the toy. So Prowl was, I don't even know what the type of car was, but it's sort of a sportsy looking car, and he was a cop car. But there was also Blue Streak and then later Smokescreen, and they were all different characters, all painted differently. But the basic toy model was the same. And so in the TV show, they made them kind of the same as well, but because it was animation and it wasn't literally a toy with a mold, they took a little bit of creative liberty. Yet they still look kind of the same. The other ones were Ratchet and Ironhide, and they look very similar. Let's see. Dolly Girl. Chicken. Oh, right. You wanted that last time. Chicken McNuggets Vampire from McDonald's. Well, if right now, if nobody else jumps in the chat, you win, because you're the only one that's put a request forth so far. So as of now, after Prowl, that is what I'll be doing, unless somebody comes in and usurps your he syrups your idea with something that sounds more appealing at the moment. But right now, you are the winner. All right. But yeah, but Prowl, I always liked his toy design too. Like they've made more recent ones, but even back in the 80s, he was one of the best. You know, he looked like the car and the robot, and he was fun to transform. Some of them looked like little hunks of brick and didn't really look like anything, but he always did a good job looking like what he was supposed to. Now, some versions of him, it looks like he has a circle here, and some it looks like he has a square. So I'm going to split the difference and kind of do an angled, I don't know what you would call it, a hexagon maybe? That's not quite right because that would be 6 sides, but something like where it's sort of circular, but it's got angled edges. And then this is almost like a helmet on top of him, kind of like Magneto from the X-Men, where you can see the edge there. Yeah. The one thing, his mouth is a little inconsistent, and his nose. That's the thing. Going back and looking at a lot of these, I'm looking at stills and model sheets from the actual show from the 80s, and even there it gets a little inconsistent. I think branding and stuff like that happens more later in like a series. The same thing with like Power Rangers or Ninja Turtles or anything. Like when they first come out and they get popular, they just start putting, the images on everything, and they're not always consistent. And then later on, somebody creates a style guide or Bible or whatever, and then it gets much more consistent after the fact. But yeah, he's got kind of a stern face because he is sort of a cop, but he's a hero, so he's not angry. He's just like serious, stoic, whatever you want to call it. Let me turn that off for a second. That's not too terrible. And I'll bring this one up to connect the other side. I probably won't do another pass. This is tight enough for what I got now. I may or may not go in with a little bit of color. Mashdar, a prime or a jazz? Well, those are good requests. Prime I won't do because I actually have a prime headshot done and on sale in my Etsy store. And the idea of this is to kind of get me ready to do some new prints. Oh, by the way, if anybody's interested, on my Etsy store, and there's a link below, but it's Gazbot on Etsy, I'm having a Black Friday to Cyber Monday sale. Everything on the whole site is 20% off with free shipping in the United States. So, but I do have some Transformers prints on there already. One of them is Prime. Oh, who am I drawing? Oh, I'm sorry. This is Prowl. Correct era, it's like from 80s original lineup. He would be, I guess Jazz would be higher on the command. I was trying to think because Ironhide I think of as second command, Jazz is maybe third in command, so Prowl's maybe fourth in command. But yeah, that is who I'm working on. If what I was saying before, I know you weren't here, or I don't think you were here. I wasn't paying attention to the lurks. Is if these, because I like drawing them, but I make a living as an artist, so I have to kind of follow the money sometimes too, where I'm investing my time. So I've been toying with doing more Transformers prints, and as of now, I did 3 Autobots and 3 Decepticons from the 80s cartoon, and I'm thinking about maybe doing a few more. And if all goes well and people keep buying them, I will do the entire original lineup of the first season, and then go from there and continue until people don't care anymore. But Jazz will definitely be one of the ones that would get done in the not too distant future. Jazz, who was originally voiced by Scatman Crothers, and what was his famous line? Prime would be like, yeah, he was kind of a second in command when it came to like Ironhide seemed to be second in command in the battlefield, but Jazz would definitely be the one that was calling stuff out and be like, ready Prime, and then he'd be like, yes Ironhide, yes Jazz, and he'd be like, and then in the very beginning, like eventually he would just say transform and roll out, but at some point early on, I guess because they wanted all the kids to know the names, he'd be like, Ironhide, Sunstreaker, Ratchet, Transform. And they'd be like, Gears, Bumblebee. And he'd name like every Transformer. It would take like 17 minutes, and then the episode would be over. But yeah, so Jazz, definitely a big character. Definitely. And he's one, I'm old enough that I had the original Transformers as a kid, at least some of them. And he is one that I never owned. I have a newer version of him now, but the original Jazz, yeah, I never had him. I don't even know if maybe I had a friend who had him, because it was always a thing where like if I didn't have it, at least if a friend had it, then I could play with it or trade for a day or something. All right, I could keep working on this, but I actually think I kind of got the gist of it down, and now I would just be turning it into a real drawing. What I think I'm going to do, I'll turn this down to 25. Oops. Turn this down to 25 and throw a little color in, just because one of the things that helps differentiate it between the others of the same mold that I was talking about is the color. And as I said, if anybody in chat wants to do any requests, this is Twitch Request Live. So in between the things I want to study, I am taking requests. We got at least one in there now. Let me see. I do know stuff and things there, Zuki. Nashtar Jetfire was the one I loved. I recall reading his design was yes. Actually, it's funny because I was almost gonna do some Macross Robotech sketching, but then I realized I didn't realize, but I decided I wanted to go Transformers instead. But I was looking at some Jetfire. Yeah, Jetfire, the original toy was literally a Veritech fighter from Macross slash Robotech. And then in the show they had to kind of alter his design, and I think uh, the toy there was like issues with the toy where they couldn't release it after a while or something like that, and that even came into play because there was a San Diego Comic-Con exclusive a few years ago that Hasbro put out that they were putting out GI Joe crossed with Transformers, and so they had a Sky Striker from GI Joe decked out to look like Jetfire, which made him look like a Macross jet with all the booster armor and stuff. And there was like a lawsuit because Harmony Gold, who owns the rights to that, made a lawsuit. And back in the day too, when Robotech was out in America, they never had like the proper transformable Veritech for a while. It was just the jet because Harmony Gold owned the rights to the character and like the mech, but Transformers owned the rights to that specific mold, and it was this weird. Everything got like cross pollinated, and different people owned parts of the same IP. It was very very weird. But all that is besides the point. Jetfire is cool. He was one of the coolest Transformers toys, and he was cool because he was one of the first Transformers that could actually fly and all that stuff. So I agree with you. Your assessment. He is cool. All right, so that's good with that. I'm gonna throw just a quick layer of shadow over it, just because it always makes me feel nice. And then I'm gonna go on to the request, which I believe, as I said, right now I only have one, so that's the one's getting done. Let me put in a little bit more here. Oh, I take the whole thing down to 50% for a shadow layer. And I'll just put a little bit on there. Yeah, he's pretty cool. The temptation when I do stuff like this is like, okay, well, I got Prowl down, so I should just go ahead and do Blue Streak or Silver Streak, depending on, he had the same name, it doesn't matter. And Smokescreen, because then it's like all in the same pocket. But I feel like that's going to be boring to put up 3 headshots that are all basically the same mold. And the chances of me, putting a little different personality and little touches to them are better if I do them apart from each other as opposed to just doing like an assembly line thing, which is why last time I did Ironhide, but I didn't do Ratchet, even though it would have been easy to do. All right, so we'll call that done. I'll put a little bit of a highlight in the eye just so he has a little bit of life to him. There. All right, so we'll call, oh, I forgot the shadow on his wings. There we go. All right, I'll save him as Prowl. Boo doo 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 doo. PROWL1. And let me change this folder. This is the exciting part where you get to watch me save. Okay, that is. Whoa! Thank you for the host, and thank you for the compliment. Yeah, I think he came out pretty okay myself. I appreciate the compliment and the host, Dolly Girl. All right, so I'm setting up for the first request of the night. I'm just gonna double check chat to make sure I didn't miss anything. La 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 la. Okay, so we are going Chicken McNugget Vampire from McDonald's. This is a request for Dolly Girl that she had last week that I didn't get to, ran out of time, didn't get chosen, but now it is what is happening now. But while I could kind of fake it off the top of my head, I think it'll be better if I get some reference. So pardon me while I look off screen to Google an image for the Vampire Chicken Nugget. And it's funny because I remember these, I guess from when I was a kid, and I know there was like probably a whole line of Halloween slash monster ones. The only one I clearly remember is the vampire one. So either he was in the commercial or it was, I don't know. I don't know why it sticks out in my head. Maybe it was just the coolest design. Okay. Oh, right. They had little Muppets of them as well. Yes, Mashadar? All right. Let me see. I'm looking at the images now. Pardon my... Okay, so I found... Oh, the actual toy looks different than the commercial I'm thinking of. Well, let me go ahead and grab some reference here. So I'm gonna grab the Muppet looking one as well as the toy and maybe do a little bit of a hybrid between the two. And it's also, I'm realizing maybe there was different years they had different versions of them, because like when I last time I did a like a food former, it was like a hamburger into a robot, and I think those, like depending on the year, had different versions. So I have two versions right now, but I'm going to look for a second just to make sure there isn't another version, because the one I'm looking at really is not the one I remember seeing. But maybe, yeah, maybe that's the only one. All right, I'll give it another second here. I think maybe there is only one, and I'm just confusing the version from the commercial that was a little Muppet with the version that was the toy. All right, so I'm going to close my reference window. All right, let's see. Gazbot, Mashtar, do you check your Discord private message? I do not. Uh, I shouldn't say I do not like. I don't really go on Discord very much. That's why I'm on the Erzuki Discord, which is the scratching post, because she is much better at Discord than I am. I will check it since you told me to check it. There you go. That's the Discord I'm on, but it's not the best way to get a hold of me, to be honest. Instagram, Facebook, YouTube. These are all better ways to get a hold of me, or just email me. But I will check it now that you told me to. Sorry, hit enter. Chicken Nugget Vampire was a great choice as a kid, if I recall. How fun. Discord. Yeah, oh, and then there's the link. Okay, so I'm just actually I'll show you what I'm looking at so you can see the discrepancy I'm talking about. That is the toy, but it's not exactly how I remember it looking. And then this, it takes a second to render, I guess, here. That is the commercial version, which is more what I remembered. So I'm going to do something kind of in between the two. Because, yeah. Mashstar. Also, I'm the same as you are. I got the commercial version different from the toy one. Okay, yeah. So maybe, yeah, maybe there is just one version that was created, but the two sort of blend together. So I'll put, this will be the Gazbot version of the Vampire Chicken McNugget. I'll be putting my own little spin on it. Oops. I gotta make a new layer. Okay. And I'll grab a nice sort of brownie color for the bottom. And first we'll do the nugget. I'm gonna do it like as though it's a nugget with nothing, and then we'll dress it. So we'll give it a nice little chubby nugget body with some textury nugget lubbins. There's an artist on here. Oh my gosh, I forget her name. That I follow her. She's like Queen McNugget or something like that. And I think for her it refers to the nuggets of pot, but she makes them, everything's chicken nuggets. I can't remember her name. All right, so there's the little nugget body, and then I'm gonna switch colors. I'll pick a more of a bluish black, not Lewis black, bluish black. And they've got sort of parted hair, and then it's, on the Muppet one, it kind of flips out onto the side like that, which I kind of like. Gives it a little more personality up in there. But then the toy one, oh, I see. I thought it was little like spit curl things, but it's actually eyebrows that are almost touching the hair. So actually it's not as dissimilar as I thought. So, but the eyes are very much those like circular Muppet eyes like this. And then kind of thick upper eyelids. And then the eyebrows, which should be completely evil, but they're more like mischievous because obviously it's a kid's toy, McDonald's vampire, not a true bloodsucker. And I'll give him these eyes. And he has no nose, and he's got kind of big cheeks. Again, that's in the toy, he has more big cheeks. The main thing the Muppet commercial one has is that it's got a bigger mouth like this, and the fangs stick out more, which is what I like. I like that because then you can really see. And he's got kind of, it's almost like a smile. Like, hey! Dolly Girl is so cute. It is a cute design. I wish if they had a toy of that little Muppet one, I would love to get that and put it with my Halloween decorations. He's awesome. All right, I'm gonna make those cheeks a little smaller. And then both of them, he's got a little connection for his cape thing right here. And then they come down sort of collar, flap, whatever you want to call it, of his, I guess it could be his shirt and or his cape. And then the cape comes down. On the toy, it comes all the way down to the ground. On the Muppet commercial one, it doesn't come quite down. I'm going to leave it up a little bit like that. I kind of like that version. And I think he's got a little medallion right here. Oh, and it's like the McDonald's logo like that, like the arches. All right. When I finish this, I'm going to take another pass, kind of similar to what I did with the Prowl. And I'm looking at the shape. And again, I'm kind of getting halfway in between because in the toy shape, it's a little teeny face on a big McNugget, and in the commercial one, it's like more of a big face. So I might, you know what? Although I do think I went a little bit overboard with the mouth and the face, so I'm gonna shrink this area down a little bit. I think it'll help it make the eyes bigger. Let's see. Yeah, I think that's a little bit better like that. All right. And what else does he have? Oh, he's got, well, in the toy, he has a bat on his head, but I think that's supposed to represent like a bat flying nearby. So I'm not going to actually attach it to his head, but I will sort of put it in the background here like it's flying around. And the bat also has sort of big eyes like a Muppet, like a Sesame Street bat. And he doesn't really have a body. I mean, he has a body. He doesn't have feet. He doesn't have a torso. He's just got like a blob bottom and kind of, I guess, a shadow like that. All right, you know what? I think he should be a little bit taller. I'm gonna take this whole thing and just stretch it out just a little bit through the magic of digital. Make him a little bit taller, like that. Yeah, I think that's a little bit better. And then, you know, I'm also gonna move him on down here a little bit. I'm gonna grab the bat and make it a little bit smaller so it's not falling off the page, so you can see the whole wing. All right. Yes. All right, then I'm going to take this whole thing and bring it down to 50%. So I'm going to do this cleanup, and then I'll go back to my stuff. But feel free to throw out requests whenever, because after I finish this, I will go ahead and work on another study of my own, and then I will do another request, and on ad infinitum. Well, not ad infinitum. It'll end around 7 when Airzuki stream starts. That's the way we roll. All right, so I'm going to bring my brush down to 35 to be a little smaller and a little tighter. I think, yeah, if I cinch the cloak in a little bit like that, that works a little better. I can get a little, yeah, get a little bigger. I was working from so far away. But thank you all for, Airzuki, you getting some nostalgia off this? Awesome. Yeah, like I said, I didn't have the toy, but I definitely remember the commercial. But yeah, thanks everyone for hanging out. If you're just lurking, that's fine. If you're hanging and not wanting to talk or chat, that's cool. If you want to throw out a request, that's cool. If you want to talk to each other or me, if anybody has any Q&A type stuff, I'm happy to do that too. Whatever, whatever you guys want. This is your stream. Well, your stream and my stream, because I do, like I said, do a little bit of studying in between. But best of both worlds. All right, so then get those eyebrows. There we go. Give him some nice kind of smarmy eyebrows, more than dangerous eyebrows. Dolly Girl, who's also on one of the plates. Oh, like the character, they had like a plastic plate you could buy or whatever that had this character, or did elaborate, please? What do you mean? Because the idea of having some Halloween chicken McNugget plates in my house doesn't sound that terrible. Oh, okay, cool. Well, if it wasn't so close to the holidays, I might be looking at eBay. I definitely did not have the plate. I don't think I ever saw the plate, but that would be, again, great Halloween stuff to bring out. Oh, that would be great. We could have the plate and then use that to have the candy to hand out to people when they come to the house. And all the kids would be like, what is this? I don't even know what this is, because this is before I was born. All right, and I'll put some nice sort of gelled, slick, pomaded up hair. Yeah, I feel like the way to do vampires when you're doing like kid friendly is like less like I want to suck your blood and more like, hey, you want to go on a date with me? Kind of a smarmy, slick character. Hey, you want to buy a car? I'm a vampire car salesman. Hey, there we go. That. And that goes along with the heavy lids as well. Oops, that's not quite. There. You know what? I'm gonna put it. Yeah, I am gonna kind of put a little bit of cheek. I kept going back and forth. Yeah, give him a little bit of a smirk, which, again, I keep going back to the commercial version. But I'm a sucker for Muppets anyway. Muppets and Fraggles and Sesame Street. I love the designs on that stuff. So given the choice between that and something else, I'm always going to choose that. Spoilers. And I think I want to make this part a little bit darker up here. Even though he doesn't actually have a tongue or anything, I just feel like give a little depth. Dolly Girl. Yes, that is the plate. Okay. Haha. The buckets were super awesome too. Oh yeah, I remember. Yeah, I remember those. I feel like my cousins had those more than I did for some reason. Like, not that I didn't go to McDonald's to get Happy Meals and stuff, but like the buckets and the cups and all that stuff. I remember having the toys from the Happy Meals more than anything else. I remember having glasses, like old school, like actual glasses, not cups for like Star Wars and stuff. But I feel like that was more Burger King if I remember correctly. But yeah, I don't know. They have some decent ones now. I don't really go to McDonald's for myself much, but I have a friend in Australia, another artist named Chris McQuinlan, and he is into Pokemon. And so I've actually gone to McDonald's twice for him because they have Pokemon things that you can get here that you can't get in Australia, and it's a Pokemon like figure like of one of the Pokemon, and then it comes with a card like for the card game like a foil. So that's a pretty good. I mean, it's not a bucket or a cup you could use all year round, but as far as a prize, like you get the little toy and an actual foil card for the card game. That's not too bad. And the McDonald's arch, and I feel like I need to put in a little like McNuggety texture on him to make it clear that he's a creature of the night, but he's also a byproduct of chicken. Actually, you know what? That would have been better in color. I think I'll leave a little bit on the bottom for shading, but I'm gonna erase most of that. And his cape's black too. So I'll put a little bit of black in there. Oh, one thing I forgot. Let me look at my reference again real quick. Yeah, the collar should be up a little bit. Yeah, okay, that's something I forgot. The kind of popped collar. There we go. That sold it. Now he's a vampire. Okay. I knew something was missing. I couldn't figure out what. All right, we did it. We did it, everybody. We got to Vampire McNugget. That's not where we thought we were going tonight, but we did it. I'm gonna put a little bit of color in here, so I'm not quite done. I'm just looking at my reference again. Okay. And I think he's got. I'll take. Oh, the bat. I forgot the bat. Let me clean up the bat a little bit. Mashadar says, anyone remember the Burger King Xbox 360 games? I do not. Were they? Oh wait, was it like the creepy King character that was in the commercials? In which case, I didn't have it, but I vaguely remember those games being out. Were they any good? And then Dolly Girl, I remember playing Burger King TMNT VCR tapes. That the TMNT tapes, I know Pizza Hut had a thing with the Rockin' Out of Our Shells tour or Coming Out of Our Shells tour where they were like rock stars. That was definitely Pizza Hut, but who knows? Sometimes they, cross pollinate and might have been, oh, those eyes do not look good at all. They might have been later on through Burger King, but for sure they were at Pizza Hut, at least for the Rock Coming Out of Our Shells tour. And there we go. Put a little bit of black in here too. He's mostly black, but I'll add some in color, otherwise it would look like nothing. Bats always look cute when you give them, it's like all black and like little eyes. They almost look like a cat or something instead of a bat. All right, so I'm gonna, oh, I forgot about the shadow. I'm gonna take this, bring it down to 25%, and then I'll go ahead with a color layer, and then we'll call this guy Dunzo. And let me get a little more of an orange color for the McNugget, even though it's probably more orange than they would be in real life, but that's sort of the color of the characters that they created. Even that, what I'm doing now is a little bit browner than what they would do. Here's Suki, loving this. Thanks, Zooks. Yeah, I'm surprised. Good job, Dolly Girl, picking this. I'm surprised what a hit it's been. It's hitting everybody in the sentimentals. In the sentimentals. Why did that not? I have contiguous. Oh, because I didn't close this up. Let me try that again. Gloop, gloop. Yeah, there we go. Oh, I don't have it at 100%. That's why. If you don't have it at 100%, that's why you get those weird edges when you go to fill it in. So this will work better this time. Watch. See, there we are. All right, and then the eyes are white, but I think the eyelids are kind of a purple, which again, you see a lot in Muppets like Gonzo and things like that, but for this character, I'm pretty sure it's mainly because he's supposed to be a vampire, so it's supposed to look like, I haven't slept in forever, dip me in sauce and eat me. Also, I want to sell you a car. That's what he said. Just looking for, there we go. That's the perfect, yeah, that's the perfect Muppet purple kind of color. All right, let me give his medallion sort of a, it should be gold, but I'll make it a little bit more yellow so it sticks out from the orangey color of the McNugget Prime. And let me grab a blackish color to fill in the background of all these. Yeah, that's too much. That's too much. I need to get something a little bit lighter than that, actually. I'll go, you know what I'll do is I'll go kind of comic book style and go blue for black. So let's see if that works. Yeah, that's better. And the bat is easy. I think I'll have to go back in and color his eyes yellow, but otherwise, there. And cape, same thing, a little blue-black. And this part is going to be red. And the collar, I have the option of black or white. So, because the two different versions of the character, one is black and one is white. So I'm going to leave it white for now and color everything else in. And if it doesn't look good, then I will add red. That is the way we do the collar. Mashdar. They were I mean, they were free, and I don't remember them being horrible. The Birkin games. Yeah, I mean, for free, how bad could it be? But the fact that they existed at all is probably cool. I'm sure there's some collector, whether they're valuable or not, there's some collector that's like, I gotta have them in my collection because, you know, it'd be a fun thing to pull out like when people come over. Like I feel like because I don't collect video games specifically, but I collect other stuff, toys and things like that. And some of it I collect because of sentimental value. Some of it I collect because it's just like a cool piece of art in my mind. And some of it is like, oh, I can't wait to show somebody this crazy weird toy. And I imagine that's the kind of video game that would be the same. Like you may not enjoy it, but like, oh, you never saw the Burger King game? Check this out. All right, what do you guys think? Should I leave those collars white or you like it better with the blue? I'm kind of torn. Blue or white? Oops, didn't mean to go that far back. Now I'm looking for the redo tool because they've changed it. Not sure what historical accuracy says, but I like white. Seems classy. Yeah, it looks a little bit weird, but if I put a little bit of shading in, that'll help it. I'm leaning towards leaving it white. I got one vote for white. If anybody disagrees, speak now or the forever hold your. Well, no, you can talk whenever you want. I just won't listen. All right, I'm gonna leave it. I think this is good. I'm gonna put a little bit of shadows in. Oh, let me bring this. Actually, I could probably get rid of this altogether. And this character is kind of like I talk a lot about animated characters, and this is in that ballpark where if I didn't color it, I don't think it looks quite as right. So I'm just gonna put some shading in, and then I will go back to a study for myself, and then another request, and the cycle continues. Yeah, the texture, doing the texture with color, I think was a much better idea. Sometimes I mean, if it was a black and white drawing and I had to do it in black and white, then I could figure it out. But sometimes it just works better because it's not like, yeah, it's not like a heavy division of like limbs and things like that. It's just texture. That's too much. He's looking, yeah, I put too much. The bottom's looking good, but I put definitely too much on the face because, yeah, they make the face smooth, even though the whole thing's made of a nugget. So maybe I'll just do a little bit around the edges like this, but leave the face more or less smooth. That's probably better like that. And then just put a little bit, actually I'll do some traditional shading. That's what I'll do. There we go. That's better. A little bit under the eyes because he's a vampire. A little bit under there. Yep, there we go. That works. And then I'll go ahead with some red. Oh, I'm not even doing the normal. I'm doing like more serious shading because I'm changing my color. Normally I don't do that. Oh well. Yeah, and that helps with that. Offset that white, make it not so poppy. Poppy is what'll make you sleep. And yeah, just the more shading I can get on these eyes, the more vampire-y he looks. So let me go with the purple as well. And then just a little bit. I think for the black/blue, I'm going to go the other way and actually do highlights instead of shadow. I think will work better. A little bit on there, a little bit on there, a little bit on this guy. And then let me see if I take this whole thing down to 75%. Yeah, I think that's good. And what I will do though is put a little bit of a color in the background just to pop it out a little bit. And I will choose a greenish color, a greenish yellow. And then I'm just going to grab a random texture brush and I will bring it up big to like, wow, that's way too big. I was like 100, 200, 3,000. Okay, so this is like 300. Bring the opacity on the brush down to, let's say, 50. And then just a little bit of, oh, I put it at 5. I'm like, that's really subtle. We'll do 25. There we go. Spooky. Yeah, it's the exact level of spooky McDonald's would want to do for a Halloween kids toy, I think. I think I captured sort of the essence of that. Yeah, spooky, not scary, I guess is the difference. Oh, some of that's showing through the white, so I need to erase that. That shouldn't be showing through here. Get out of here, you. All right, and then I'll take this whole thing down to 75. And we're going to call the Vampire McNugget done. So I'll give it a little save. Vampire Nug 1. All right, so that is saved. So I will erase all of this. Oops, cancel. I'm going to check the chat and take a sip of water. Dolly Girl, this is the cutest McNugget ever. Well, I'm glad you like it, especially since it was your request. I missed that before. Okay, the seems classy. From Arizuki, Dolly Girl, I love the blue on the hair. Looks like it's your pet. Yeah, I was thinking the same thing. You must like this draw. Yeah, it was fun. It was fun. Arizuki's doing all sorts of extras. He would have moved on if he had. I do take commissions. You could hit me up privately. I think you follow me on Instagram. You could hit me up there as a good place. We could talk offline, depending on when you need it too, because the holidays are coming up, so I'm a little bit crunched for time. But I'm always open for commissions, and I'd be happy to do a McNugget. But for right now, I'm gonna figure out what the next thing I'm working on for my edification is. So I did Prowl. I guess I could just do another. I guess I could do another Autobot. Maybe I'll do some Wheeljack. He's another one I was thinking of doing. Not high on command, but an inventor, interesting kind of character. So for those that don't know, let me grab a picture of Wheeljack so everybody can see who I'm talking about. And that is Wheeljack, again, the Generation 1 cartoon style. So I got a few different references up here, and I'm going to work on, once again, a headshot study, very similar to what I did for Prowl. Excuse me. I don't know why my mouth is so dry. I'm drinking. All right, so let me Sorry, I'm just looking at my Wheeljack refs, trying to find a good face one. Oh, actually, that's pretty good. Yeah, okay, I found a good one. I found a good one that shows his face, his body, everything. Okay. So Wheeljack, I almost want to turn it horizontal, the frame. I'm not going to because then all the rest will be one direction. He'll be a different direction. That would get confusing and annoying for people that wanted to buy a set or for me displaying it even. Let me reset my brushes back to the rough. But he has, oops, he has a head with like the wide things on the side, like wings off his face. So I'm gonna draw like it's a circle with like these things, right? So it kind of makes more sense to do it horizontally. But I think what I'm gonna have to do is just let some of it get cut off. So I think what I'm gonna do is draw a little bit smaller to start with, and then so I make sure I get all the parts in. But then what I'll do is I'll scale it up and see, how it works best being cropped. And then he's got kind of 3 mohawky things. I don't know what you call them on a robot. It looks like he's got a tri-hawk. Yo, I'm Wheeljack. I got a tri-hawk before it was cool. Oh man, guys, don't even bother with the tri-hawk. He beat you all to it. Now it's chat say, thanks whenever you can. Okay, cool, yeah. You could reach out to me before the holidays. I just might not be able to work on it, is all I'm saying. What's your Dolly Girl? What's your favorite art you have for sale on Etsy? Oh, you just want to make a purchase. Well, that's tough. First of all, I appreciate you looking. I appreciate you buying. It's not necessary, but it's always nice. And I would prefer you buy the thing that you like best because you're the one that's going to be owning it and looking at it. I know you like I know you like Power Rangers because that's where I met you, was at a Power Ranger convention. I don't know what else you like. What's my favorite? That's really tough. You would think that question wouldn't be so hard. I don't know why. It's difficult. Well, let's assume I'm picking something from Power Rangers just to narrow it down. got a bunch of headshots, and I like my Robo Knight headshot. I know he's not the most popular character. I like any of the headshots I have that have a lot of shiny gold in them. And Robo Knight has that, so I'm a fan of that. For bigger ones, I like the way the Megazord came out a lot, especially because I wasn't originally planning on doing it. It was just like a sketch that ended up getting out of control. Um, yeah, I'm sorry that's such a hard question for me. It's an older one, but I do like my Godzilla versus Biolante, but partially because of the art, but partially because that's one of my favorite Godzilla movies. But at the end of the day, yeah, I would say pick the one you like because it's, if you want to own the art, it should speak to you, more than, there are pieces I've done that weren't my favorites that other people have loved, and that's great because, I create it, for me sort of, but also for the people that want to look at it or own it or whatever. So I'm happy for you to have anything, anything that speaks to you that you think is cool. That is going to be the right choice. All right. I kind of gave him a ball on the bottom of his face, but it's not. It's more like a cylinder. It's more flat on the bottom there. And then he's got a little thing underneath. And then his chest is also like Prowl is the hood. It's not the hood of the car. I'm sorry. Prowl was the hood of the car. His is the roof of the car. So it's actually like a big wide piece like this, and then the front is sort of the windshield, which we're probably not going to be able to see in this angle, but like I'm kind of faking it. That would be the windshield. And then he's got a big Autobot symbol right here and a bunch of other pieces. And then he's got, I don't know what these are, like neck braces. There's parts of the car, I guess. And then he also has shoulders similar to Prowl, where there's basically squares. He has now Prowl had doors that kind of resembled wings. Wheeljack literally just has wings, which is weird because he's a car. So I'm trying to remember if there was an episode where can his car fly? I don't think so. Maybe it could glide if it falls off, like a cliff or something. Like Buzz Lightyear. I'm flying here. But Wheeljack kind of has that voice, not Buzz Lightyear. uh, but it is weird that he has actual wings. And I remember quickly in the toy they were kind of a translucent green. Wheeljack is another figure I did not have as a kid, but I did have a friend that had him. So while I didn't own it, I did actually play with it and see it. And I think he has stripes. Some of these lines might be, metal. Some of them might be stripes. Here's the other thing. He's got a big missile launcher coming off, which is part of his design. Let me check chat. Good answer. Okay, good, Gallagher Girl. I'm sorry. I know it wasn't the best, I'm glad you were happy with my answer. I was feeling it was an inadequate one, but and so he's got this big missile launcher. So if I kind of offset him a little bit, and I guess it just barely clears that wing on his head. I don't know what you call those things. Head wings, I guess. Head wing and the angry Wheeljack. And so I guess, yeah, the missile launcher slash cannon that comes up. If it was a missile launcher, it'd be weird. You shoot like one missile and then it's just empty. Although I guess in shows like this, they'd often like automatically refill just out of nowhere, like some internal mechanism that's got an unlimited supply of rockets. All right, so there's kind of the rough, but that's not going to work for the headshot stuff I got going on. So I'm going to take it, scale it up, and see what we could do. Yeah, I guess the missile launcher won't really, I'd have to have them off center like that so you won't even really see the missile launcher. I'll tilt it a little bit. Yeah, it's going to be tough. A lot of his face is going to be cut off. I shrink it down a little bit. I guess I could do like that. Maybe I'll put, yeah, I was like, maybe I could put something in his hand or whatever, but I want it to match the others, and they're all just headshots. So I guess this is roughly what we're going to go with. But if I didn't draw the whole thing out, I wouldn't be sure where certain pieces went. So that's a lot of times there's you draw through. They call it drawing through, where like if the hand is behind the body, and the arm is behind the body and the hand sticking out, you still want to kind of draw the whole arm and then erase it later so you could be sure of the placement of the hand. Similar to this, I wanted to kind of draw the whole area so that when I cropped it down, I'd be sure I was looking in the right place. So I'm going to go ahead and take another sip of water. Excuse me. Okay. And I'm going to do another pass. Let me close this reference window. And, oh, I still have the McNugget reference open. So I'm working on this, but I'm doing another request after. So feel free to throw out a request. No request is too big, too small, too smart, too dumb. I don't guarantee I'll do it, but I won't be mad or make fun of you if you do something that I don't like. That's not what I'm trying to say. I'm saying say whatever you want. Throw it out there. The worst that can happen is I don't do it. And I don't know if there's any requests right now. So your chance of getting chosen is quite high at this point. So if you're lurking around and you wanna get something done, you can just not even talk. Just throw out a suggestion, and you'll be on the winning end of that. Right now, almost guaranteed. We got quite a few viewers in here lurking around, and I don't mind that. But I'm just letting you know, you could turn from a lurker to a commander because you could command the next request. That being said, let me get back to Mr. Wheeljack here. And I think I have him kind of looking down. A lot of times, especially with anything you're drawing, but especially with mechanical stuff, the direction it's looking or where it is, like the eye line, affects things greatly. Because, for example, if he was looking up and this was the edge of that sort of visor, like part of his, his eyes are in this little visor area, you would then see a piece of that, and this would sort of be the underside like that. But he's looking down, so you don't see any of it. Because if you imagine like the brim of a hat, if you look up, you can see underneath it. If you look down, you see the top. And so he's looking slightly down, so that's, the brim of his brow hat, whatever you want to call it, is down, and so we don't see anything else. And similarly, we put the eyes right on that line, whereas from another angle, there might be a little bit of space between the eyes, but this is where we're at right now. Okay, and then his nose coming in, and his face mask thing almost looks like a ninja would wear or something. But again, he's like an engineer slash medic. More of an engineer than a medic, but I guess because they're all robots and cars, engineers are de facto medics. But it is weird because they have an actual medic. I guess he's like the other one's like a doctor and he's like an EMT maybe. I can put you together, but I can't keep you together. You gotta go see Ratchet. What's chat saying? Airzuki, draw Simba. Oh, I just can't wait to be king. Airzuki has Lion King on the brain because there's the new movie coming out. Well, yeah, at this point, Simba might be the next request because as of now, you win. If somebody puts something else up, they've got about a 50% chance of winning because that will be the second one. All right, so let me get in his little ski mask ninja thing here. And I got to remember not to round it out at the bottom. I want to, but it's not how his face goes. Okay, and he's got 3 bands. So we go 1, and then 2 creates 3. And I actually made a mistake here because the thickest one should be on top because of the angle. So I'm going to redo these. Starting at the bottom, making it thinnish. And then the middle one. Now the middle one and the top one are almost the same width, but you could actually see the top of this because it's the opposite of what I was saying about the visor on top. Because we're looking down a little bit, you can see the top of that part of it. So there's that, and maybe there's a little line coming in here. Now underneath, we'll just get a little bit of a hint. There is a circle underneath, and then that's got 2 lines coming up like this. And I'm not, if and when I do a print of this, this is gonna have to be cleaned up and revised a bunch. But I'm gonna double check this chin part because that doesn't look quite right. Okay, so then this comes up. These 3 mohawk things. I'm going to draw a little circle here, or a half circle that doesn't really exist, but it'll help me line up I keep calling them mohawk things, which is funny, but I feel like there should be a name. Fins? I guess fins, because they're cars, right? And I'm putting that up too high. So I'll adjust on the fly. The middle one looks equally thick from where it connects up to the top. The other 2 look like they start off a little bit thick and then get thinner towards the top like that. Okay, then I'll go ahead and erase the connective tissue. That's an example of drawing through right there. And then I'll erase that. Actually, maybe I'll leave some of that in just for detail, like shading later. Let me look at chat. Oh wow, a lot is happening. Dolly Girl, did you see the trailer for the live-action Lion King coming next year? Airzuki, yes. I started crying a lot thinking about it. Made me sad as a kid. Yeah. And then Mashstar says, I just ended up watching the cartoon version like 40 times in the last few months. Oh, wow. That's... You guys are very Lion King heavy. I like Lion King. I will definitely see the new one, especially because I'll probably be going to see it with Airzuki. Hello there, Tyler. Welcome to the stream. This is Twitch Request Live. This is the live drawing show where I alternate between sketching things that I want to get some research on. Like right now, I'm doing Wheeljack from the original Transformers cartoon for myself, and in between that, I take requests from you folks. Whoa, what is happening? Thank you very much. That is an excellent follow. I appreciate that. You're going to get your tech attached to your organics very soon. Thank you. But yeah, so I'm working on this now, and then afterwards, I'm taking requests for the next sketch I will do from the chat. I think right now there's only one suggestion, so you got a good chance of getting picked. And then I alternate back and forth. I do this every Friday from 5:30 to 7, and then Erzuki starts her stream, and I get out of her way. But if you have any requests, anybody, feel free to throw them out. We did one request so far, and this is the second study for myself. And what time are we at? Oh, it's only 6:30, so we definitely have time for one request, possibly two. Depending on what it is and how quickly I could draw it, that also affects it. But I am putting, it does seem like I'm putting a little more juice into these than I usually do. Usually these are a lot much quicker, scribbly things, but I don't know, for some reason I'm putting a little bit of extra effort into these, both for myself and for the requests today. I guess it's just I'm not in a very fast mood, so even my fast stuff has taken me 10, 15 minutes, which is, not fast so much as a little bit quick. Maybe I'll skip the colors on this guy. I did colors on Prowl. Maybe I'll skip the colors on Wheeljack, especially because I think there's conflicting colors between the toy and the animation and things like that. And, oh, I shouldn't have put those lines there. I'm looking at the reference off screen, which is why I'm staring off to the right. Tyler, yeah, Tyler, that's what I'm saying. This is, throw it out there. I don't promise I'll do it, but throw it out there and maybe I will. That's what we're here for. Friday is Twitch Request Live. Okay, so then there is a box that overlaps a little bit here, and that's where his Autobot symbol would be, but he's up too high. Okay, and then we got these things, which we still don't know what they are, and I don't know what his neck looks like. I might have to get more reference, but I'm not going to do that right now. I think what I'll do instead is bring up the chassis of his body to make it, because it looks like it kind of just connects. Like there isn't a neck in a traditional sense, or at least not one that you can see very well. So I'll bring that down a little bit more. So maybe there will be a little bit of Autobot symbol right there. All right, and then I'm just going to put some connective tissue and just put shading, because I feel like that's kind of how they do it. And a little bit of the shoulder over here, and a little bit of the shoulder there that you can't quite see. And he's got that missile launcher, which we won't be able to see the missile itself, but you can see kind of the edge of the launcher, which would actually cover up part of the... I shouldn't have put that shoulder in, because that's where the missile launcher should go. Kind of like this, sort of just like a circle in a circle. And then it would come up here, so you don't really see it. And then behind him, kind of like almost like a backpack. I think that's another part of the car that kind of comes to the middle of his head, so we won't see it, but this would all be shaded in with various techno gobbles. So I'm just going to shade all that in right now. And then the wings, will we see the wings at all? Probably not, but I might fake it a little bit right here just to get some extra color and break it up. I'm going to pretend the wing comes out here. Actually, that might not be completely wrong. That might be kind of accurate. All right, and I don't want to keep going forever on this guy. I'll put a little shine because that's supposed to be metal. Take this down to 25. What the heck? I'll throw, do I want color? No, I'm not going to do color. So I'm going to save this. And once I'm done, I will double check the chat and see what the requests are like and choose a new request. And we'll start that for Twitch Request Live. All right, let me erase these so I have a clean palette. All right, let me catch up on. So we have Simba requested by Erzuki. And we have, oh, okay, and Tyler. Tyler says, here's the reference pic. I'm interested to see your take on a character I did with the Overwatch dev team. All right, let me click this link and see what we get here. 14 Carat, Italy. Oh, that's cool. That's a new Overwatch? Wait, so where is this from? I mean, I play Overwatch a little bit, and I don't recognize this character. Did you create this character, or where is this from? Oh, I like the way the gun is like kind of attached to the arm. Is it? Oh, I should bring this in so people could see, actually. Hold on. Save target as. Sorry, I'm just going to save this so that I can bring it into Photoshop. Oh, actually, maybe can I copy it? Share picture. No, I can't. Okay, I should have known better. Sorry. Oh, maybe I can just copy and paste. Let's see. Oops. Yeah, there it is. This is the character, the Link 14 karat. Kind of looks like a cyborg fancy thief guy person. Uh, Overwatch. So I created him with the Overwatch team. He's an unofficial Overwatch character that. So I created him with the Overwatch team. He's an unofficial. Oh, so he's your like your idea, but you didn't draw it. Like you wrote him for lack of a better description, and then some artists that actually work for Overwatch drew it for you. Is that accurate now? Am I understanding? I mean, it's cool either way. I don't know if I could do him justice in the few minutes that I'm going to devote to it, but I'll give it a shot. I'll give it a shot. Why not? I'm mostly just gonna focus on the head area to make my life a little easier. I'm having trouble zooming in for some reason. I zoom in and then it moves over. Okay, come on, you. All right, I am gonna have to save this, aren't I? Sorry, one sec. Desktop, work in progress. Twitch, this is the folder chain I'm going for. Twitch request live, yes. Save. All right, now let's see if it actually saved. That's the real question. Did it save? Did it? Oh, good. Sometimes there's like protection where certain websites won't let you save images, and it's like, oh, you've saved the whole web page. Good for you. But this actually worked correctly, so we're in good shape. Open with. And now I can zoom in because I was trying to zoom in before, and then it was just I don't know the web page was being weird about it. So let me see here. Sorry. Okay, and let me make this window a little bit bigger again. I had to move some stuff around. Tyler saying, I wrote him, yes, and an artist did the art, but the artist shown him to the rest of the team and they're interested. Oh, I see. So, okay, I got you. So he was a fan made character that is in the process. That would be amazing. That would be really cool. I mean, it's cool enough that you got this piece of art and everything, but it'd be even cooler if it became an official character. All right, so what I'm going to do is not going to be nearly as finished as what we're looking at there, but I'm going to I like the hair swoop. So is this character, are they a cyborg or is it just like a metal faceplate that they wear to cover like scars or like what's the story here? Oh, here we go. Oh no, that's the same. I thought you put a new one up. He's got crazy big hairs. He looks like, I don't know if you know, there's a anime slash manga, Lupin the Third. It makes me think he'd be like a villain or an anti-hero in that. Like he's another thief that like Lupin like breaks into a bank and then this guy's like, "Sorry, Lupin, I was here first." And like Lupin's kind of a goofy guy and this is like the cool version. He's like, "Oh, I hate that guy." I'm gonna give him a little smirky smile because of it. He kind of looks like he has a little smirky smile, a little bit arrogant, a little bit, but kind of could back it up. And I think he has a goatee. It looks like the angle's a little bit. It could be shadow, but it looks like a goatee. And I'm assuming he has a human ear on this side. And he's got like a crazy big eyebrow. I mean, not eyebrow, eyelash. Eyelash or eyebrow? I can't tell from this, but whatever. It'll match the hair is the main point. And then he's got his human eye, like that. And then this has a cool design on it, kind of like a phoenix or something. Upside down phoenix, maybe. Looks like a bird beak, or it could just be a spiral, but it also kind of looks like a bird. And then kind of similar to the McNugget hair. It's very dark and black, so I'll do leave some white highlights, but otherwise keep it mostly dark. That should swoop out a little bit more. Yeah. And then a couple extra strays over here. Let me check the chat real quick. It's a 14 karat, Tyler says, it's a 14 karat gold Venetian half mask to hide his identity. Okay. So I was right that it's gold. So is this character? Oh, okay, wait. Dolly Girl, Common Rider Gaim Orange Arms. Oh, that's a heck of a request. Tyler, it's just a Venetian pattern on his mask. Okay. And Dolly likes the guy's hair. Yeah, it is. The whole thing is very ostentatious, very over the top, which I dig. All right, and he's got, yeah, because even his like, he's got this scarf, but it's funny that Dolly's talking about Kamen Rider because scarves I always think of like Japanese Sentai heroes, Kamen Rider, stuff like that with the big scarves. And that's kind of what it's not a scarf even, like it comes off the back, but it's almost like a scarf cape. I don't know what you call it, but it's got this big old that thing. And then it looks like there's another piece to his costume that I can't quite like a part that goes over his shirt like that. All right, I think I don't want to get too crazy here. I'm gonna take this and build on this. So I'll just do a cleanup from here. I'll bring this. Oh, I was using the wrong brush for my rough anyway. All right, well, that's fine. Oh, maybe get a little bit larger. Yeah. Very dark around the eye here. And there's that brow. Lash. Is that his eyebrow or his eyelash? I think it's his. Oh, it is his eyebrow. I can see now. I can see. I answered my own question. Never mind. And his little smirkle. And then this plate comes off right from the bridge of his nose. And it's a little bit form fit to his face because it goes up and then it goes out again. Like that. Okie doke. Let's see. Dolly. I like his hair. Momichu. Hello. Oh no, I'm watching an ad. Okay, hi. Sorry. I have no control over the ads. I think they just start when they want to. And I'm not getting any money from them or anything, so I have no control over that. But hopefully you can see us now. And welcome to the stream. We are doing Twitch Request Live. And this is a request from Tyler. This is a character he created for Overwatch called 14 Karat, I believe. And I'm looking at a reference he sent and just kind of doing my take on a quick headshot of the character. And after this, the way I do this, I rotate back and forth, if you haven't been here before, between requests and working on studies for things I'm interested in. So I was doing some Transformers and things for myself, and then in between I take requests of sketches. No super finished art, but just, this kind of stuff. So I'm doing this request right now, and then I'll go back and do another something for myself, and then I'll probably do one more request after it, and I end around 7. So there's time for one more request. I think we have a few in the chat, but it's not first come, first serve, so feel free to throw something out there. No guarantees I'll do it, but, maybe. And sometimes, Dolly had a request last week that didn't get done, and then it got done this week. So, never hurts to throw something out and see what happens. Let's see. Yes, you may request, absolutely. Like I said, I don't promise you'll get chosen, but you absolutely may request. Tyler says, so the backstory to him is that he was going to be heir to his family's crime family. However, in grief of recently losing his mother and hold on, I'm reading this wrong. He was going to be the heir to his family's crime family. However, in grief of recently losing his mother and 2 brothers, he attempted suicide via driving his car off of a cliff. However, it failed as he still lived. But many thought him to be dead until he was discovered by Captain Anna Amari, and he was given a plea deal to work for Overwatch in an anti-crime task force. Of course, he accepted. That's cool. So I was right that he is a criminal, but now he's like the criminal that catches criminals. That's a cool twist. All right, let me put some of these jams in here. And connect that up. A little bit of shadow. And then bring this jam over. And a lot of jams. A lot of jams. All right. Actually, I want to show a little bit of his neck skin. So we'll shade that in, but leave a little bit of neck skin right there. And Mommy Chu, my OC, she's simple. Usually she's drawn cute, but you have a different style. Great announcer voice. Thanks, Dolly. Would you like to see a different take? Would like to see a different take on it. Well, you could throw it out. This is an OC I'm doing right now, so I don't know. We'll throw it out. If you have a link or something, or if you just want to describe it in chat, we'll see what you got, and maybe we'll go that way. Basically I reevaluate what's in the chat once I get there to make sure I didn't miss anybody. But yeah, definitely if you have a link, throw it out, or if you want to put a description, feel free. I need to be a little bit bigger here. That's better. Cover the area a little bit better. And then I'm not going to get much more detailed than this. I think I'll throw some quick colors on it, and then we'll move on to the next one. I'll take this down to 25. Actually, yeah, you know, I'll just get rid of that. Oh, I forgot his goatee. Or shadow, or whatever that is. I think I'm 99.9% sure it's a goatee. And if it's not, well, you know what? He grew a goatee over the weekend, and he could always shave it later. That's fine. But if it's not a goatee, it's a very specific looking shadow. There we go. That's better. Make this a little darker. A couple extra hairs. The wrong way. I realized I should probably have a little bit of hair like that. That's better. Okay, one more there. All right, so now we'll take that color layer. Take a sip of water. Choose my profile pic. I can't see your profile pic right now, Momichu. Let me see. I'm looking at it through the Streamlabs. I'm not on Twitch site. So if you could send me a link, it would make it easier. Do I have IG? I do have Instagram, but again, I'm not looking at Instagram right now. You can send it to me for the future. But I'm not that tech savvy, and it's everything I could do to hold it together and be drawing and talking and doing this at once. So it's a chin strap. Tyler, most called it. Okay, yeah, but it's facial hair. That's really what I was getting at. I wasn't trying to classify what the name of it was so much that it's not a shadow or part of a mask. It's actually hair. So cool. So chin strap, goatee, whatever you want to call it. All right, so I'll just do a quick pass with the color. Looks like he's not like I don't know what I don't know what I'm not going to guess on the ethnicity, but it looks like a slightly darker shade of beige or a very light shade of brown is what I'm seeing. And so that is what I'll go with. And then a little bit of white for his eye. And then his cloth thing looks like it's just off-white a little bit. Oops. And how are we doing on time? We got about 15 minutes. I think maybe what I'll do, I was going to do another one for me and then another request. I think I'm going to just jump right to the next request because I can't really go too much over 7, and I don't want to deprive you guys of one more request because I usually don't take this long on them. I'm usually a lot quicker. So after this, I will do one more request. So if you haven't thrown something out you're thinking about, definitely do it now. I will be hitting the chat to check after this. And he's got gold, so I'm going to make kind of a orangey color as the base, and I'll have to go and put a little shine on there. I really like drawing gold and shiny chromy things, so if I had the time, I'd go nuts on the gold pieces, but unfortunately I don't have the time to do it up proper, but I'll do a quick pass and just make sure it looks shiny. Yeah, I was saying before, I collect toys, among other things. And some of my favorite toys to collect are really shiny, like vacuchrome figures. Some that I don't even like. There was a show called Beetleborgs in the 90s. I didn't watch it when I was a kid, and I've watched a few as an adult, and I don't really like it. I know it's based on a Japanese show that might be better. And that's no slight to someone who does like it. That's fine. But I have a bunch of the figures from it because they have that shiny vacuform chromy stuff. Let me check chat real quick here. How would the people request be able to receive the picture to save? I don't usually like I usually just do it like this. Sometimes I'll throw up like a low res version on my Instagram or on my Facebook, so you could grab it off there. But I'm not doing like finished art, you know. Um, you sent a whisper. Okay. On Instagram. Thank you, Momochu. I'll check that out when I get a chance later. Erzuki and Momochu saying hello to everybody and some dancing, and that's all good. Let me get back to the gold. Okay, and then he's got purple. He's sort of a light. Okay, so yeah, I kind of was right about the color, skin tone, I should say. And purpley. That'll work for the base. And it looks like his. Oh, actually, no, his shirt looks more purple than that piece on top. I'm not a very fashion guy, so yeah, piece on top it probably has a name like the buttress or something. Whatever it is, it's the top piece. And the top piece looks like it's kind of between the tan and the purple of the other two. So I'm gonna grab purple and then just, I don't know, move it a little bit more towards that side of the wheel. Yeah, there we go. I think that hits it more or less where it needs to go. Yeah, I'm definitely not going to do another study for myself. I'll definitely go right into request because we're really pushing up against it here. And once I get this done, I'll just put a little bit of, oh, I got to do the hair still. And then I'll put a little bit of shadow and shine, and then we'll be good to go. Hair. I'll stay away from the bright blue like I did on the Nugget because that's a little too cartoony. I'll go a little bit more blue-gray. Not Michael Bublé. No, not the Ewok low-gray. Blue-gray. There we go. That works fine. Okay, and I'm not really drawing eye color, so it doesn't matter. I do want to erase. Oh, that's just the background. Okay. And then I'll just throw some shadows in first. And switch back to brush and make this whole layer 50%. No, make it 50%, I said. There we go. I need this brush a little bit bigger. Okay, there we go. So these are for the shadows. And like I said, I'm a big fan of shiny gold, but this is my quick job to make it. And then, oh, actually, I should just focus on shadows for right now. So I'll do a little bit of cell, and we're kind of doing what they call cell shading, which you see a lot in animation, and it comes from because animation, previously was always done on cells, which is like clear plastic, basically. Now most of it's done digitally, but the idea of cell shading was that it was just one dark color over everything, as opposed to, more nuanced or with highlights and things like that. So I'm sort of doing a faux cell shading on this piece right now, which actually makes him look, more animated more traditionally animated than what he would be in, the 3D in Overwatch or whatever. But that's fine because it's, it's here. It's not in Overwatch. A little bit of shadow there. Grab this, and so I grab the color with the color picker, and then I used to just make it a darker version, but as I learned, it's actually better to move off the original color a little bit, and it gives it a little bit more depth and a little bit more, I don't know, life, texture, whatever you want to call it. All right, so let me go in with some highlight for the gold. So we'll do a quick highlight. Oops, let me make a new layer for that. So do some quick highlights like this. And then I'm going to go with a super highlight in a second. And the super highlight will be almost white, and I'll bring the brush size down, like to really make it look shiny. And again, I'm just rushing through this, which I normally wouldn't do, but time is of the essence. And his eye is okay. It's just white in there. And then I'm gonna give a quick background color. I'll pick blue, like a dark blue. No, because that's gonna blend. Whatever, it's fine. What I'll do is I'll throw this in. Oops, don't want it in his eye. But then I'm gonna bring this down to 25%. Nope, that's too much. 50%. And then I will do a pattern over it just to pop it out a little bit. Kind of like I did with the McNugget earlier. And you could, I'm definitely speeding up because I realize that timer's clicking down and I'm spending too much time on this. There we go. A little bit there. All right, and I'll put one more super glisten layer for shine. There's a couple. Actually, I want it even higher. I want it over the black. There we go. Oh, look at that shiny gold. Yo. And we're going to call him done. So I'm going to save as, what was his name? 14 carat. And then we're going to go ahead and erase all of that. All right, now I'm going to look at chat. We got about 10 minutes left. Let's see what we could do here. All right. So we had Simba from Urzuki. And then Momochu with the OC, but I don't think that's going to happen right now with the time crunch, unfortunately. Oh, thanks, guys. Saying it looks great. That's nice of you. I'm glad you enjoyed it. Like I said, if I had more time, I could do a much better job, but it was fun to just try to do a quick take. Sorry for the time. No, that's fine. That's fine. There was another one. There's Simba, the OC. Oh, Dolly Girl, I think you wanted Kamen Rider Gaim. Fan of Mashdar. Fan of the Macross Robotic Universe. I am a fan, Mashdar. I sadly know a lot about Robotech, not much about Macross, which I know is blasphemy in the eyes of a Macross fan. But I grew up with Robotech, and that's what I know. But the designs are awesome. Right now, I'm leaning towards doing Simba because Gaim is awesome, but that's going to be a really intricate design that I don't think I'm going to have time for. Mash. All right, let me. I think I'm gonna go with Simba. I'm sorry to say, if only because I think I'll be able to do it the quickest. And as I said, I'm running out of time here, so let me get a. What? Oh, I pulled up Simba, and it's the pictures of the real cat from the upcoming movie, but that's not what I want to do. I want to do the original animated Simba because he just can't wait to be king. All right, here's a little Simba head. I'm just gonna do a little Simba head to close it out. Erzuki, aye, Simba. That's right. All right. And because it's animation, I know I'm going to have to do, well, I'm going to choose to do color. So let me go ahead. I've never done Simba, but you know what? Because I'm not, I could change this. I'm going to change the canvas size. Because I'm not making a print of this. It doesn't have to match the other ones, so I can go ahead and make it wider, and I don't have to worry about it, and it will make my life easier. Because Simba's got a little bit of a wide head with those ears. Right? Yes. Why can I not unlock that? There we go. So let me do white and do a quick zip zop and then lock that. Okay, now we're ready to rumble. Let me check chat real quick. Robotech. I'm over Robotech. Oh, okay, cool. So we're both heathens. Excellent. Nowhere's movie commissioning guy. That'd be the best. Nowhere's. Okay, cool. Be back. Yeah, yeah. Well, thanks for understanding, everybody. I mean, if I could just sketch it for everybody all the time, that'd be great. But unfortunately, there's life and time limits and things like that. But yeah, my goal is to be here every Friday from 5:30 to 7. I stream other times intermittently here and there. Sometimes I do more finished art, but like as far as request stuff every Friday. And yeah, I do take commissions. I'm a little bit booked now, but you could always hit me up, and I could give you a timeline. We talk all details offline. But otherwise, come back next Friday and see what's going on. Okay, that's terrible. I intentionally did it as quick as I could because I've never drawn this character. So I've drawn very little Disney, to be honest. This might be like the third Disney character I've ever drawn. All right, so bring it down to 25. I might have to do more. Normally I do 2 passes, but I think I might have to do more than that this time. So I'm gonna bring this down to 47. Okay. The other thing, sorry. Oh, thanks, Dolly. They'll be back next time. The other thing is the difference between what I do for a commission and what I do a sketch here is vast. You know what I mean? Like if you look at my Instagram or my Facebook or any other place where I have like finished art, even for headshots, I normally spend hours on them, not minutes. What I'm showing you here would be like phase 1 of like a 5-phase, thing to get to the finished product. He's got a weird little He's got kind of a he's kind of like a in the picture I'm looking at. I don't know. This might not be the best picture I realized to choose from, but I didn't want to spend forever. I think it's good. He looks cute, but it's more of like a curious kind of hey, what's going on, as opposed to like a more dramatic face or something. They should have. I wonder if they have Jonathan Taylor Thomas, who did the voice of Simba in the original one. They should have him be like Mufasa or Scar, or like one of the older lions in the new one. That would be awesome. I love when they do stuff like that. Oh, thanks, Arizuki. Arizuki dropping the links, helping me out. Yeah, 1, 2, 3. Actually, this is not for a second pass. This isn't coming out as bad as I thought it would. And this kind of cuts in. The eyes that are such a specific shape. That's what's going to mess me up. I could tell right now. So it sort of goes down like that, and then up, and then down with like a heavier top lid. Not too bad. I'm not saying this is great, guys, but I am saying it's better than I thought it was going to come out for having never drawn Simba and not really doing Disney style. I think I might be able to get away with just 2 passes and throw some color, which is good for time. And then I'm done. Because right now everyone's telling me, do this. Everybody's saying, do that. I hear some typing. What do we got going on here? Arizuki, I think the whole cast of this one are famous black actors. Oh, really? Oh, okay. James Earl Jones is still Mufasa, then I'm fine. Donald Glover is Simba. Oh, man. I'm much more excited than I was before now. Although, yeah, well, maybe they could have like Jonathan Taylor Thomas be like a bird or something. I don't know. I don't know. I just like when they invite the old actors back to participate in the new versions and stuff because I'm a sentimental jerk. Good job. He looks like a lion. Okay, cool. Thanks. I've at least succeeded in the bare minimum. I mean, it's better than the Gravedigger I did last week. That's what we've learned is me trying to draw Disney-style cartoon animals, while not my specialty, I'm better at than when I try to draw monster trucks, which is also not my specialty, but I'm terrible at it. So please don't commission me to do a monster truck. I'll do it, but it don't. Please. All right, then they got the inner eye. And then, okay, I'm going to have to pull a shine there. How are we doing on time? We're doing terrible on time. Technically 2 minutes. I'll go until I finish this, but technically just 2 minutes until I'm supposed to stop. So I'll probably end up going over a few minutes. Yeah, it's not perfectly on model, but it's good enough for what we're doing here today. Let me see if I turn that off. Yeah, not too shabby. All right, and then this is sort of the cat shoulder for his arm, and then that's his like back area. And then the other part comes down like that, and then he's got a little like white fluff on the inside of his chest, a little bit of a neck, and then the other thing. Okay, so I'm just going to put a color layer. I'm going to call this done. I would like to work on it a little bit more, but time is running out, and if I let myself, I'll work on this forever. But again, not bragging saying it's great, but happy with how not terrible it came out. That's my bragging. It's not terrible. Whoa, improved AI. Hype, 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 hype. He wants him to have a bazooka. Too late there, improved AI. I'm sorry, but I have to make way for the Arizuki stream coming up soon. But I like where your head's at. He wouldn't have to worry about Scar if he had a bazooka from the beginning. He'd be like, get away from my dad! Whoosh! Simba, I'm impressed. You've become quite the man. Impressed? You're gonna be blown away! All right, it writes itself. I'm done. Oops. Oh, you know what? I kind of like that. I'm gonna leave that. I did that by accident, but I'm gonna leave that and then just pop out the other colors I need. Accident. That's like a Bob Ross happy accident kind of thing. Kind of makes it like a neat, like a T-shirt design or something. Yeah, I'm digging it. I'm gonna go minimalistic with this. Oop, that time I don't want it. Stop. But yeah, I'm getting near the end, and I'm going to finish up. But I do appreciate everybody coming in, saying hi, doing requests, chatting, lurking, whatever. Got a new follow. Appreciate anybody that follows, shares. All that stuff is great. If you're interested in buying some art, I also have an Etsy store. Absolutely not necessary. And the main reason I bring it up, I don't think I've even brought it up the last couple streams, but I am doing a Black Friday sale, and it's Gazbot on Etsy, and I have a link below in my Twitch channel. And so for right now, everything until Cyber Monday is 20% off with free shipping in the U.S. And it's probably the second best sale I have. The best sale I ever have is Free Comic Book Day, but that's only for one day. Second best sale is today. I don't run tons of sales on my shop. Um, yeah, let me get a little pink on the nose there. And like I said, I do this every Friday, but I sporadically do other ones too. So if you're not followed and you do follow, then you'll get the notifications when I jump on. And I'll probably be more this week for sure. I'll be getting on because I'm working on a commission. It's a kaiju art commission that I'll probably working on the inks and/or color at some point this week coming up or weekend, whenever I have time, basically, because it's due next Thursday. So it'll definitely have to be worked on before then. And get some yellow in the eyes. And that won't be a Friday request. That'll just be, you know, I'll chat with you. I'll answer questions, but I will not be taking requests. But you could watch me do like a little bit more of a finished piece. So he's got yellow eyes and then kind of, I can't tell if it's red or orange on the inside. I'm going to do a reddish orange. Split the difference. Why not? That looks fine. Yeah, that works. And then a little bit of dark brown shading. Yeah, a little bit of dark brown shading. That I'll put on a different layer just in case. A little bit above the eye. Yeah, I'm gonna continue to draw this, but I'm gonna lower the opacity of that whole layer because I think I'm going too dark. But that's the beauty of digital, is I could just make a quick correction. Let me poke my head up at chat real quick. And Matthew Broderick. Yeah, and Matthew Broderick. Why not? I like Matthew Broderick. Even though he was in that terrible Godzilla movie, he was also in War Games and Ferris Bueller and a bunch of movies I like. So he seems like a nice feller. Okay. Fill that, and then I'm gonna take this whole thing down, let's say 50. Yeah, that works. Should I, here's one thing I'll do. I'll put a little bit of a white edge around the whole thing. Oops, that's not white. Just to pop them out from the orange. Not necessarily necessary. Necessarily necessary? Not necessarily, whatever. Yeah, I kind of like that. Why not? Yeah, I feel like this is not a completely on model version, but it's like something you'd see like if you're at the theme park and it's like on the door to the ride or something. So it's like a good enough approximation. Let me save this before I forget. So I definitely did more finished art this stream than I've done in the previous streams. The upside is people get to see a little bit more finished stuff. And to be clear, not close to like what my commission finished stuff is. But the downside is that I did 2 for myself and 3 for you all. So if I go quicker, I could get more. But I guess it depends on the day. Next Friday, who knows what's going to happen. Let me double check the chat here before I sign off. Let's see what's going on. Ferris Bueller is my favorite movie that he's in. I'm going to move this over. I'm from the Chicagoland area, and so maybe I'm biased. I mean, I love that movie regardless of where it's set. Could have been. Matter of fact, I grew up in New Jersey, and I probably, when I saw it as a kid, thought they were in New York, because yeah, I don't even think like they probably talk about Chicago and everything, but just where I was, like in my awareness of the world, I was like, that's New York, whatever. But yeah, so there's Simba. I usually repost these to YouTube if you came in late and you want to see the early parts. I'll take if my Facebook is Gazbot on Facebook or Instagram. I'll probably throw some of these up there. So if you wanted to grab a low res copy just for your own files, if you requested something, feel free to grab them from there. But I don't make a habit of actually sending them out because it's not like really finished art. So it's I don't mind you having a low res copy though. And let me just get in here real quick. And sorry, what I'm going to do, I'm going to end, but before I do that, I'm going to have us raid over to Erzuki's channel just to give her a little boost here. And I forget how to do it. I think it's like this. Nope, it's not like that. So let me just say raid. I'm getting a commercial on my own channel. Hold on, I'm making a mistake. One sec. I see you asked something, Dahlia. One sec. Sorry. When I opened up Twitch, I was hearing myself on a delay, so it was messing me up. So Dahlia, girl, always say, I wanted to ask, is it okay to post some pics I took on this? Oh yeah, I saw you posting the last time. That's totally fine. I have no problem with that. This is all public. Post whatever you like. That's just helping me, letting people see my art. So I appreciate you asking. But yeah, you guys, anything on here, feel free to share whatever you want. That's good for me. That's good for everybody. So let me just want to make sure I get this right. Raid Suki. Oh, okay. So I figured it out. So I'm gonna do the raid. Everybody's ready to raid. I'm gonna raid in 4 seconds. We're gonna head over to hers. She's doing video game stuff, but she's a lot of fun. I may jump on there. I don't know. I won't be talking, but thanks for everybody who watched. Thanks for everybody who lurked. Thanks for everybody who gave suggestions. Hope to see you all next week or on other social media. I'm Gazbot, powering down.